So I have put in the comment, if you can go and see in the comment of our LinkedIn event, a 6 use cases that I am going to quickly discuss with you all. If you so I will just start. I will take the first 3, then I will open the floor for some questions, and then I will discuss the next 3 if time permits, or I will have a follow-up call next week regarding the 3. But the first one that is there, which is very you can say interesting, and it has been used by a lot of companies, is the product designs and visual search options that are there. And this is for the customers who can try out products before they even buy it. So many of you might have known of a company called as a Lenskart, which used to let you try on different specs with on the just they will the AI lens is going to scan your face, and then it is the frames that you select, you can try it out and you can see how you look. And now what AI has been doing is it is before you could select the frames that you want to try out, but according to your face structure and your face, they are going to have lot of historical images and they are going to use some generative AI techniques to filter out and suggest for lenses, the recommended lenses that would look good. If you are selecting some lens according to that, plus your face structure, your skin color and everything, your hair length, they are going to suggest you and you can try out. Also, there are some companies that like Sephora that are using that, in which you are able to do the AI is able to do the facial recognition, and then you are able to try out the extensive range of makeup products. And similarly, Google introduced a virtual try-on feature for women's top also from the popular brand. So these are the things that these AI driven systems enable custom to preview the products like clothing, makeup in a virtual setting, and this is done before the purchase is made, and it increases the shopping experience, the interactions and the convenience. And also the good thing about this is that it reduces the return rates, and which is a big problem for online retail purposes that are there. And also generative AI in this particular space, it plays a leading role in product discovery, design and display customization, and this models analyzes the trends, styles, preferences, sales data, and the historical data, the traditional data, plus some generative unstructured data as well. And these insights received are used to generate a variety of appealing design options, and these are things that are across categories, they are being used a lot. So this is the first place that you can see lot of value that is coming from these technologies. Every e-commerce company, most of the companies nowadays have an e-commerce platform, and these technologies can really help them add a lot of customer satisfaction, user experience, and returns of reducing the returns that are there. So this is some of the important things about the first use case. Now I'll talk about the second use case, that is the marketing personalization that is there. So in marketing personalization, we know, and I have been talking about this earlier on, before when we used to do projects, we used to do customer segmentation, and we used to have one message for a particular segment. And now what we can do, we can go more detailed with marketing personalization. And how we can do this, as we already have traditional analytics, traditional data like customer data, purchasing behavior and preferences, and also we have their behavior, that they are in how they are interacting with the products, and their chat history and all those, and their viewing pattern. All these things, these data driven approaches allow for creation of highly personalized marketing content, and this ensures that it resonates with each individual. So now the technology is come up that we can go up to each individual personalization according to his or that individual's birthday, his anniversary, or whatever it is. I just giving you an example. You can have specialized offer for them, and marketing messages, email messages, everything can be generated using these technologies, and everything can be automated as well. So artificial intelligence really predicts also the engaging content, boosting the marketing effectiveness and conversion. And this approach, personalized approach, is strengthens the bond between the brands. And also these technologies, what they can do is, when you are giving a coupon code, so you can use specific coupon code with your name and your birthday. Like suppose my name is Arshad's birthday, so if a company like Sephora or someone sends me a coupon code of 20% off with that name, and these things can be, as I told you, automated, and it can be according to the event and according to the behavior, that the percentage can also be decided and also been told. So these are the things that we can go ahead, we can use these technologies for this traditional databases, plus these unstructured data, voice, videos, and everything can also be used. And this is very, very important. Continuous improvements, it ensures that the marketing content remains relevant and impactful. And not only you can do messages, you can also send not only emails, you can also send WhatsApp, or also have an auto call generated, in which an AI voice, which is very much like a human, can personalize and give you a message, and that is really going to help you as well. So the precision of generative AI in predicting these marketing content significantly improves the marketing ROI, and the conversion from such approaches is increased. And you can also study which of these personalization, which of these campaigns are effective. And this is very, very interesting. If you see retail, to be honest, is personally, I have worked in my career of 19 years, I have spent almost 8 to 9 years on retail. And if you see, retail analytics is very much, retail specifically is very much open to innovations. Why? Because this is the direct, it is touching directly to customers. If you have a change, if you are using some impact, if you are using some do anything, any innovation, you will see the sales pick up very quickly. And this is very, very interesting. That is there. So I see Khalid there on the panel. Khalid, if you can raise your hand, I think you should have come. If you had accepted this thing as a speaker, you could have come up. Just raise your hands, I will let you come in. I know you need to go early, so that is there. You can just raise if you are comfortable to speak. So what I was telling, that retail is very, very much ready to do innovations, and whatever new technologies, the traditional oil and gas, the supply chain, and all these things takes time for impact of generative of AI to take in place. But retail, they will do some innovation. They are always one step further. They do the innovations. You can see the results of the innovation, and you can always be very agile, and you can change. If something is not working, you can change the models, you can change the marketing message. It is a very, very dynamic area. Lot of data is being generated, lot of POS, lot of transactional, lot of user behavior data is being generated. So there is plenty of data in the retail space, and lot of analytics and AI can be done on this. So Khalid and Patrick, you want to add anything in these two use cases that I mentioned? If you can unmute. Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead, Khalid. Yeah.
Okay. Good evening to everyone. Actually, I think the main points to be discussed here is when we talk about retail, for those of us who are very exposed to the amounts of data that retail gets is huge. In fact, it's so big that the actual return on investment that anyone who uses them does not exceed, no matter what, it doesn't matter, you can give me any example, it does not exceed 15% ROI. That's the max. And there's a reason for that, because most people, what they do, and most businesses, they go with this. These are key actions. Those data that retail has, they're actually all of them, not some of them. All of them are actions, meaning actions of people, whether it's sale, whether it's return, whether it's coming in, whether all of these are actions. But then at this point, at this day and age, generative AI comes in and does something different. It actually comes and gives the reasoning behind, it gives the decision making behind. Why did people buy? So first thing we do, as I always say, is the biggest problem today in the whole world is that the segmentation is flawed. It's wrong. So customer segmentation I'm talking about. So if you start without actually going and fixing your customer segmentation, you're not doing anything. And when you do the segmentation right, here's what happens. People change from segments, by the way. I myself, I speak to you. Today I might be in one segment. In 2 weeks' time, within that specific business, I might actually jump to the other segment without feeling. I'm just being me. But the business has to actually make the distinction. Why? Because they need to deal with me being in one segment, very different than being in another segment. So most people look at retail and think action data is very actionable. It is not actionable. I'm sorry. But what is actionable is when you come and get some behavioral data. This is not behavior. And unfortunately, most people throughout history, they use this action data as behavioral data. It's not. Even though, yes, people buy and you call that as a behavior. No. What I want is I want to go very deep, and that's what we do, is go very deep, get the keywords. What is a keyword? A keyword is the sentiment of that person. And then I take all these keywords. How do we get them? Most likely, you will not get them from within the retail data that you have today. You will have to go actually and download them from the internet, being feedback and reviews of people, millions of reviews that you can find online about products, about a service, and that's the wealth, the new wealth that we are actually being aided by generative AI. Because generative AI has two sides to it always. One of them is the AI ML, that you can do slice and dice all you want with the structured data that you have, the retail data. But NLP is the other side, which is natural language, which is making sense of the unstructured data. Fusion is when you take both parts, structured and unstructured, AI, ML, and NLP, and put them together. It then speaks language, it speaks decision making. It gives you the keywords that you would love and kill for, but that's what you should do. This is the biggest thing about generative AI.
Yeah,
this is what I wanted to.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Khalid. Patrick, you want to add anything? I think. Okay, I think he's in mute. Cool. So now I wanted to talk, as Khalid told, the power of unstructured data, the power of NLP is very much important. So keyword patterns, what the person was searching, what was the, how much percent. So basically more of, if you have heard about digital analytics, the customer behavior, the feedbacks that he is putting in, the time he is spending, the searches that he is doing on the websites. So these things also can really help in understanding the behavior and also the responses. So like customers, customer, when I talk about customer, it is for any company, it is like a long journey of a customer. Acquiring a customer, you may be talking to him, he may be interacting with you, so you have to think about the customer lifetime value, and there are a lot of different checkpoints that a customer has with the business. And
Muhammad, I want to cut in just a note, if you don't mind.
yeah,
Sorry.
Go ahead, Khalid.
Okay. Because you touched on a very important point. I'll give you now a very, very practical example. Say now I go and buy from, you just gave a name, and that is, I think you gave, what's the name of the store you just gave? Okay,
Sephora.
Sephora. So suppose now I go and buy from Sephora, and you also go and buy from Sephora. So actually, in their retail data, it shows that someone, if you go dig deep, then you'll find Khalid. Who's Khalid? You don't know, because there isn't, unless Khalid gave you any more information. Okay. Now the max you would do, or Khalid would do, is give you the phone number, and everyone is killing for a phone number now. Why? So that they can send you an SMS at the very wrong time, on the very wrong thing, that you will just be so, dismissive of it, that it doesn't make any difference. But Khalid then goes home or goes to work, someone talks to him about this product, and he is very, very much he's emotional about these products. So he will go online somewhere, and he will leave a comment talking about this item and saying, oh, I love it because, not because of, I don't care how much it is. Look at the difference here. This is called decision making. I don't care how much it is. I don't know that I'm doing that as a consumer, but I'm just writing. I don't care how much it is, but I only care that it's actually available there so easy, or it's so close, or it's available in Dubai or something. So this is a decision-making insight that you can never find in your retail data. That's what I just wanted to add only. And you can do through that, you can see everything else that you can find. A lot of data that you can find there. How can you, here's the thing, how can you extract that data? And the way we extract it is we actually go and we run a full online, full web search for specific keywords that, in this case, for instance, that product, if we are looking at that product, or that Sephora, the name Sephora, and then it gives us all the sites there, and we do a web crawl. We scrape all this information, and then we work on them, clean them up, pre-process them, put them in the right place, and get the most. And by the way, I will never get anything that's more than 2 months back, because it doesn't make any difference for me. Because human sentiment changes, by the way, for everyone here listening, every 3 months. That's how much the human sentiment collectively changes. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, that is amazing. So these are some of the things that when you are working on a project and you are looking at the thing that Khalid touched upon is social sentiments. Patrick, you want to add something?
Yeah, apologies, I was locked up earlier on. But as Khalid and you, human beings are messy, and we change our behaviours constantly, as Khalid was saying, and it's such a huge challenge to keep up with the way we're thinking, the way we behave. We're influenced by so many things constantly, bombarded by information. And as Khalid and Mohammed said, it's not a static environment. So if you're a retailer, a big retailer, you've got to be constantly monitoring this in real time. There's people swing in and out of different segments, as we mentioned. And if you want to maximize profitability, you need to understand that and take advantage of it by monitoring continuously what's going on. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. So one more thing, now we are talking about this, I will go a little bit details about the points that Khalid and Patrick also mentioned, because when 10 years back when I was doing projects for Clorox and these brands, craft brands, and we used to do sentiment analysis, and those times LLMs, web scraping, these technologies were not that easily available, so we had to develop on tools like Radian 6 and which used to go and collect all the tweets about that particular brand, and then we used to get the data, then we used to analyze the sentiment, what people are talking about. I'm giving an example, Clorox, what do our customers, like suppose we have around 1 million tweets about Clorex, and this is only I'm talking about tweets. Other social media, there are different tools that are able to meet for we can configure, but just taking example here. Then they used to do an attribute analysis of the product, and that is why when I was talking about the first use case, about product design and product improvement, how does companies like Clorex, Harpic and all, they come out with different variants. They do this research, product research. How they do this is before back in the days, there were surveys that they used to send out to users and they used to select, but now it is upon the comments, upon the what people are talking about it on the web, what are the reviews that are being thrown on the web on the topic. All these data is being scraped, it is being taken from the processes. I will not go in details how it has been done, but it has been all the unstructured data is being first extracted around that particular brand. Suppose you're doing a project for a particular brand for a particular product range, so you have to deep dive. You have to first is the data collection phase, and then you do the NLP techniques that Khalid also mentioned, and then you find out the main attributes that people are talking about, positive, negative, what are the specific attributes that people like, people don't like, they want some changes, and if there are some issues, what are they. And these things can be really helpful. And before, these things used to take a lot of time. For when I used to do this in the pre-LLM phase, these type of projects used to take 7-8 months, but now the time has really reduced because of these technologies. Now you can easily do these things in a very quicker time, in a very short time, because of these LLMs that are there. And that is the good thing about this particular technology. And you can do these designs, you can do the product research improvements, and also attribute this to the behavior patterns as well. And this can really help the retail company in whatever they are selling, whatever products they are selling. And it can also everything. When I'm speaking about attributes, also the price, if for some products you will see that if the price is increased by a little bit, people move away from that, so the shrinkages happen. Same price and the volume keeps reducing. So these are some of the things that also they are also doing analysis on. And the best thing is traditional AI ML data is very strong in retail, that is already there. And the data that I'm talking about, the NLP, the unstructured data out that is there. Other than the unstructured data, now we have the podcasts, the voice, the YouTube reviews. So now all those videos, all those reviews can also be using video and text, multimodal LLMs. These also can be translated, and they can also be filtered out, because we know we are moving away from a text to audio video zones. More and more reels, more and more videos are coming up. Instagram is now full of videos. So these reviews about those products also, because has to be captured. I know many people and many companies that are working on the same thing that I'm telling right now, because we have already captured the text part we have been doing for a long time, web scraping, getting the text data. But what about the podcast? What about the video reviews for a specific brand? So these are the things that companies are really working right now to make sure that they are able to first. So in video or audio to text, there is one more thing that has to be done. If it is first the translation has to be done to make sure it is English, then the proper transcript should be there. From that transcript, then the product should be identified, that they are talking about the product or not. Because just from the headlines of that particular video, it is very tough to capture if it is talking about Clorex or Sephora. So there is a lot of things that are happening right now, and I feel that text, we are already doing very well on text right now, but the future and in the near future, tools like these, already I'm sure things are already happening. All the videos that are there are getting translated and the transcripts are available, and there are specific LLMs that are doing that. Khalid, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, before I go, you touched on something. It's called dynamic pricing. And this dynamic pricing is one of the things we work on. And the way we do it, I'll make it so easy in layman's terms. It's like AI ML is the staff and generative AI is the manager. What I mean by that, AI ML collects all the data about from the morning till the evening. You can actually have multiple price points in a single day. That's not good for a small shop, but that's good for an airport, for instance. That's where we are working now. So it's good for an airport. It's good for some specific places where you have very, very high turnover, for instance. So it really depends. So yes, some people may actually go and make the choice of going at a specific time to get it at a bargain. But you know what they did? They actually gave me or whoever is doing this the knowledge, the extra knowledge, slowly, that they are getting into their segments without them knowing that they're giving me the information. And what we're doing is making the utilization where it is the fair price then for each and every customer, almost. And another point is we touched on the, you know how it is when every single human goes to buy anything? You're never going and ending up buying what you want exactly. You'll always compromise, whether in the quality or the availability or the price or the shop, the store compromises. Someone will compromise. And what we're fighting today with generative AI is the evaporation of that compromise to a great extent. So I hope that I give that point of how it's going to be evaporated, especially with dynamic pricing. Thank you for having me here, and I will leave in 2 minutes.
Thank you, Khalid.
Please.
Yeah. So now coming to this very good point that I was mentioning, and this recommendation and generative AI is as the dynamic pricing. And the third thing that I wanted to also touch upon today is the recommendation of products. And generative AI actually analyzes a lot of customer preferences, their purchase history, their browsing behavior, and also they receive insights. These insights that come out from these analysis helps to provide more customized product recommendation, and it is more personalized. It is not a very generic. So before, if you know about market basket analysis, it is only based on product to product. If X bought this product, then he also bought Y. So suppose you are buying X, you will show Y. But here it is not only taking the it is going one step ahead of market basket association, but it is also taking the customer preferences. They are taking the unstructured data that is also there, and this personalized effort really boosts the chance of conversion, and it raises the level of client satisfaction. And this technology also excels in identifying these cross-selling and upselling opportunities that are there. One of the biggest examples is the Amazon recommendation engine. How the Prime uses it. It uses AI driven recommendation to drive sales and improves the satisfaction of the customers, and it anticipates clients' future needs and preferences, and all these features really serve as a driving force behind the enhanced shopping experience. And this is one of the things, and as I was telling you, the best part about generative AI is it really helps in getting unstructured data, getting reports into the models, and giving you a much better recommendation, and this is really helpful. So retail companies are taking the help of AI and generative AI to increase the customer experience, increase the product, how they are been displaying it, how they are reducing the prices. So these are the things that really benefit both the customers as well as the top line of the company, because more the better the experience of the customer with that company, more likely it is that he is going to purchase from the same company and not switch over to their competitors. So Patrick, you want to add anything before we open the floor for one or two questions?
No, let's open it up.
So guys, there is an option below to raise your hands in the React button. If you can just raise your hands and have any questions for me or Patrick in the retail space, and if you have any experience, if you want to share something of generative AI in the retail space that you are doing or you are planning to do, it will be very great. And we will just give couple of minutes. I will request people to take this opportunity to raise their hands. And retail analytics, it is one of the most, you can say, innovative spaces. Very, as Khalid was also mentioning, lot of data is there.
There's another aspect of this I just remembered. In the physical shops, of course, for years, you're being tracked by cameras and also signals given off from your mobile phone. And where are you walking around in the shop? We now have, for many years, we've had real-time data mapping where shoppers are wandering around a shop, which are the favorite places to go to. This is happening right now in all the malls that you visit in Dubai and around the world. They are watching you in real time, not to determine what are your favorite places, where what are the busiest times, how can they rearrange the shops to maximize sales and profitability. And that's an enormous amount of data which can be fed into generative AI solutions to try to understand and predict in the future what's the best way to remodel the physical shopping space in order to maximize profitability.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. While you were talking about this, one more thing that I was reading earlier this week, and also it has been doing this customer support, that when you are doing online, you're shopping and you're chatting with the customer support about anything, about any product, and you are according to the way you are talking, and they have an inbuilt system to give a discount coupon code, and this has been designed by the way your user persona, your purchasing power, plus the way you are asking questions. If you are not happy, if you are not satisfied, and if you are complaining, there are some rules and some generative AI capabilities that is telling the AI system to give some discount to this user. And this really helps. One thing is to improve the customer experience, and second is the opportunity to get sales. But this is it's something dynamic, but now generative AI is also being used to understand this specifically, because here it is the customer sentiment bot analysis, and this is also very much used and very much effective as well. So this was one thing that also came to my mind while Patrick was talking. So I request people to come and ask some questions, and it will be very great. I know it is a very interesting field. I'm sure many of you are exposed to retail. So it is every one of us. Yes, we have our first question from Mr. Naif Nizami. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to ask how this generative AI can work on fraud detection.
We cannot hear you. Can you be please loud, Naif?
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Naif.
So I was asking how this generative AI can, help us to, fraud detection.
For retail or general?
Generally.
So to be honest, I will just answer this question. This is not related to retail, but fraud detection mainly happens in the banking or while you are doing some transactions, and generally this fraud detection is at the banking side, where they are analyzing the purchases that are there. And to be honest, this is a very AI ML based problem, fraud specifically for the banking space, because this is all to do with the amount, with the user's credit score and all those things. Here I don't think generative AI is being specifically for the banking space being used. So this is what I can say in the so Patrick, you want to add anything here?
I think fraud detection is all about finding unusual patterns, and you can certainly, I believe, use large language models for that kind of application. You're looking for outliers, you're looking for unusual. This is, so obviously when you're opening up a bank account, whether it's a business bank account or a personal bank account, for the first few months, analyzing what your normal spending patterns. They have your KYC documentation, they know where your salary's coming in, etc., etc. So when something unusual happens, like you deposit, 10,000 dirhams in a physical cash or whatever it is, the limit is, that's going to get flagged. And you could use generative AI to study that data and look for those outliers for you. I'm using generative AI like ChatGPT and Bard to create a lot of Excel macros, which I used to have to do manually in the past. And certainly in Excel, of course, you can only do so much volume of data. But the same thing would apply as long as you had the connection to any database, I guess, that you could prompt a generative AI engine to look for specific parameters and outliers away from the normal patterns. I don't think it's any different from any other type of. It's just, at the end of the day, it's just processing data. And the advantage would be, when I'm creating my macros, before it would take me maybe 5 or 6 hours to write a macro. Now I'm creating a prompt, which will take me half an hour to get right, maybe, or quicker, depending on the complexity of the prompt. And bang, I then ask it to write the macro. I put the macro into Excel, and it runs the macro, and you get your results. So it's speeding up my productivity by 400%. I would imagine in fraud detection, as long as you can create the right kind of prompts and it has access to the right information, you could speed up the process of fraud detection dramatically as long as you had the knowledge about what to ask the right kind of prompts. That would be my conclusion.
Thank you, Patrick. I hope it answered your question, Naif.
Yeah. I was working on a project, for recommendation system, so I wanted just to know. I was clearing that out. So it's all right.
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure you can do it. If it's just, you need the domain knowledge, of course, to ask the right kind of questions, to develop the right kind of prompts, for it to analyze the data. But it's absolutely possible, I'm sure.
Thank you. So Patrick, we can move to the next section of the AI show, where we are going to talk about the latest AI news, and then if we have some time, we are going to take some more questions from the audience. Go ahead, Patrick.
Okay, so it's been quite a week in the last 7 days. The biggest news has been Google announcing its advanced AI model, Gemini. If you know me, you know I've been following Google for a long time. They had I did a presentation about this to the group a few weeks ago, online and offline. They have a company which they bought in the UK called DeepMind back in 2014. DeepMind is a company that's main goal is to build general AI. And these tools and techniques they've been working on for many years, solving various problems. And now they've come out. They haven't really promoted themselves very much, but there's a lot of stuff going on in Google using the DeepMind technology. Everything from YouTube to Google data centers and other things. And now they've incorporated this technology, this DeepMind, into their large language model, Gemini. So there are 3 versions, the Nano, Pro, and Ultra. Nano is designed for mobile, so actually a basic version is now available on the Pixel 8, a Google phone. Pro is similar to ChatGPT 3.5, and Ultra aims to outperform ChatGPT 4 next year. Okay, so it seems like most people are commentating that ChatGPT now has a real competition, because the guys behind DeepMind have been working for a lot longer on these problems. And also, we must remember it was Google that created the foundational building blocks that allow large language models to appear as they're being used now. So, for which Mohammed would be far better to explain the technicalities of that. But that was an interesting development. We've had other news around Google DeepMind again. I'm just going to. So, as I say, Google DeepMind has been working on lots of different issues. One of the things is coding. So, they have this product called Alpha Code based on the Gemini system, which has beaten 85% of all human coders in competition. They ran a competition in 2023. So, it did better than 85% of all the other human coders. So, it makes sense that these tools are just going to get more and more powerful. In other news, Microsoft plans to launch an AI-focused Windows update in 2024, emphasizing they're moving back to a model based on one major annual release. And this model will have further integration with Copilot, which, if you don't know, is based on ChatGPT, into their tools in the Windows. So it's taking it to the next level, and it will be coming out sometime in 2024. Then the other big news was Elon Musk's and his XAI. So the company, if you don't know, Elon Musk started a company about 5 or 6 months ago called XAI, and they released this large language model called Grok, and it's an AI chatbot, and it's only available for X, i.e. Twitter, what was Twitter, subscribers. And it's a cheeky little thing. If you've seen videos of it working, it has a fun mode where it basically makes some very bizarre answers, so go and check it out if you can. And obviously we have the ongoing things with Sam Altman and OpenAI, we probably won't hear the full story for a couple of years about what happened, but we know that OpenAI is working very hard on the next version, the ChatGPT 5 or whatever it will be called for next year as well. So there's a real battle going on there. And then the only other thing, on the ethics and regulations side, which I think is important, the European Union has reached an historic agreement on the world's first comprehensive laws to regulate AI. This happened last week. The landmark deal achieved over a couple of days of negotiations saw new regulations focus on high-risk AI applications, emphasizing human rights and safety. It's a tiered model of regulation based on the computational intensity of AI models. Now, how this manifests and how it will be enforced is a whole new other challenge. But of course, any company operating in the European Union, even if you're based in Dubai, but you have European Union customers, at some point you're going to have to be aware of how this model works, because and what these regulations are, because you'll probably have to make changes, just like we have with the data laws, etc., etc., etc. So, really, that's it. So the main thing has been the Google Gemini, and with the ongoing, to really help with the competition. It's always good to have strong competitors, so it's only going to benefit all of us. So that's it for the news thing.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. And also, to add to this, the Gemini was in news for two reasons. One was the launch, and the second is that they faked their demo. The demo that they had put across, so the demo, everyone was appreciating it, including me. I had done a detailed video on that, and later it found out that the video that they made was rigged. It was not original video, it was edited, and it was not happening on real time. So generally there are some models that when you type, it instantly gives you the image, and Gemini was the way they showed the demo, that it was able to do that on real time, but it was actually not real time. It was edited, and And actually TechCrunch came out with this just one day after the demo, that the video is rigged, and then it came, there was a lot of buzz around this. So Google made headlines. Always it makes headlines for the wrong reasons. We know about the some in the earlier demo what happened, that they recommended something wrong, which really caused a lot of social you can say negativity. And similarly this event also, then they came out with a newsletter that they edited the video to make the experience better, and so that is okay. But Google is all very smart to the way it does marketing is very much different. So I just also wanted to add one more thing, just to see, because now there are so many options for individuals like us to use for our daily work. We have ChatGPT 3.5, the 4 ChatGPT 4, Copilot, Bing, the one that is there. Now we have Bard. So now, as Gemini, as what Patrick was mentioned, the Gemini is released. So it is integrated with Bard, and it is good. It is good, but the answers are more protected and more, you can say, responsibly. They are not giving you all the answers. They are very careful in giving you the right answers. And also then we have the last one is the Grook. So Grook is not open to everyone, but there are so many options that are there. And I did a poll in our community across our different groups, and still 90% of the people are using ChatGPT 3.5 for their daily tasks, and including myself, because I still feel 3.5 is more open, more creative than the others. I'm talking about the most used. I use the others for few of the other things, but still till now I am mostly using 3.5. And in our community also 95% are using that. In the different polls, ChatGPT 4 only around 3 to 4% is using, and surprisingly Bing AI and Copilot less than 1% of the people are using. Similarly Bard, less than 1% of the people are using Bard. So still majority is using ChatGPT 3.5 in our community of 3,500 plus people across. We have done a survey, and still this is something to be seen, that still ChatGPT 3.5 is very much preferred. And one reason is that it is creative and it is available free compared to the ChatGPT 4 and the other. But Bing also is free, Bard also is free, but still the ease and the, you can say, the popularity of 3.5 is there with people, and they are enjoying that as well. So I would request our people to raise their hands, ask any questions if you have related to the news that Patrick shared, and or the generative AI use cases in the retail space. You have any specific questions or you have anything to add, it would be great for us to take this opportunity. And for the people who are not part of the AI community, I just like to take a 30 seconds talk about this, because this particular initiative that you guys all are taking part of, the AI show, is a part of the AI community, that is nas.io/artificial intelligence. We have weekly 3 events, we have lot of workshops, and please do join this community. We are 3,450 plus strong community, and we are growing daily, and we request everyone to join in, learn about this. There are so many things that are happening, so many areas, and we are trying to get guest speakers, we are trying to get experts to talk about this, and it is good for all of us who are interested in the data and AI space to learn about it, to participate in such sessions and increase your horizon, because the things are changing in a very fast pace. So all of us need to be a little bit aware of these things. And also about our webinars and workshops that we have, you can look at the details at decoding data science/LLM. We are having a workshop, so the details are there, decoding datascience.com/LLM. Do join the community. All the details, all the events, everything we put on the group, and there is an event page which has all the events. The detail can be found on the event banner as well as in the comment of this particular, if you click the 3 dots, you will go to the event details and you can see the comment as well. So I request people, no one is asking questions today. Maybe is it people are very clear, or it is bouncing back. So no issues. So no one is there raising their hand. So I'll just continue about the this particular retail space. How generative AI can be used, or AI, when I say generative AI or AI can be used in the retail space. So one thing, and I have been talking about this, is end of the day we have lot of traditional data. We have, when I say traditional data, we have the normal databases, the relational databases that contains all the transactions, all the customer information. So now the challenge is for companies and for how they can use this. So they already, because retail is a very, you can say, matured place, because retail has been using analytics and AI for the last 10 years, because they have transactional data. If you go to Carrefour, Walmart is one of the most biggest company that uses AI, real-time tracking of prices, real-time tracking of inventories. They are high on AI and data science. And now generative AI has come in. Now not only they have traditional data sources, but they have text data, they have the social sentiment data that we are discussing online. So the challenge is how you can integrate your traditional databases that are at a customer level with, or transactional level, or date level, or what all level we have, that is fine, with the generative AI, with the unstructured data that is coming from the internet, that is coming from the recordings, that is coming from the videos, that is coming from the lot of things are there, right? I will give you one more example. That is we worked, I will in 10 years back, when I was working for this research for Clorox and Kraft, how they used to do product design. We had something called as a FGD, focused group discussion among few of the customers, and it was recorded. And what we had to be done at that time is, there were not so many good transcript tools that were available. So some manual intervention was there. After the translation was done properly, we used to analyze the transcript. So we used to make our notes, MOMs, but still we had to analyze the transcripts and then look into the attributes. So it used to take a lot of time. FGDs, it was an hour of FGD. So an hour of FGD will be around 2,000 to 3,000 words. More than that, I'm just giving you a conservative number. And then we used to do this attribute, what people are talking about, what people are happy, unhappy, and then we used to use that insights. We used to understand the persona of that customer who is talking, and we used to attribute that to the other customers, and it was a little bit of manual work. But now, because of this technology, these videos can be directly be used, as I was telling you, the processes, the transcript, the translation, the transcript, and then how you can integrate it with the traditional databases, audio, video, text, the user behavior, the browsing history, the how a person is traveling through the website, those type of information. All these things can be integrated with the traditional data, and this is where AWS, Azure, GCP are spending lot of you can say money, and lot of you can say processing power, and the teams are investing in making this experience seamless. And this is what I will request, because we all know that it is possible. There are a lot of opportunities, but how we can get companies to do this is where because only using generative AI alone is not going to help you much. Even if you are doing this sentiment analysis or attribute analysis, you need to connect it back to the traditional data to complete your model, to get you a better output of your model. And for that you need to have a multi-model databases, and that is why this I will request you, every one of you, to go to this website decoding data science /LLM and try to understand how this is working, at least technically, how the databases are have to be you can say arranged to do these things. And because at the end of the day, everything that we are talking about generative AI is how you are using your data, using your current data infrastructure, making sure that everything is linked properly. Because as we all know, dirty data, garbage in, garbage out. So you have to clean your garbage, you have to clean your data that you have to arrange it in a proper way. You have to have a good data pipeline system in place, not only for the structured data that is coming from different systems, but also for the unstructured data that is there. Like suppose you are doing regular podcasts, like we as a community, we are doing so many events, so we have around 230 plus hours of content. So this recording is also going to the portal. This is an audio recording. We have webinars, we have workshops. So don't you think, like suppose we are creating a knowledge repository, not only we can create the knowledge repository from the text that is there in the articles, but also from these recordings that we are giving. So today we talked for 60 minutes, me, Patrick, Khalid. So it will be approximately 4,000 words of knowledge that is there, that can be used for people as well. And this is very, very interesting. And what I will request you to learn about these things, how we can use all this data, how we can use this and solve any business problems. Today we focused on retail. We only could capture 3 of the use cases. In the next session we will try to capture the other 3 in the retail, because as you know, retail is huge. So we could not cover a lot of all of them, but we will continue maybe next week about the other 3 that is there. And the other 3 that I will just quickly mention for you guys is the customer service automation, the virtual shopping assistant, and the inventory management and supply chain for retail. So these are the things that we will cover in the next week. I will request all of you to become part of our community. Do take part. And today there was only one person. Thanks a lot, Naif, for asking for any questions, and last chance for people to raise hands and ask any questions. And I can see a lot of familiar faces: Mukul, Ali, Averil, Stephen. But if no one is asking any questions, we will request Patrick, if you want to add anything, you want to tell something, any closing notes.
Well, I think
you have.
like saying, it's wonderful to have everybody here and all that, and I just, my advice is just dive in, play with these tools. They're changing all the time now. As we said, I talked about the Gemini tools, that it's available in Bard, so you just go to Bard, and now the underlying LLM is Gemini. You've got Copilot, which is free on the latest version of Windows, so you can play with ChatGPT 4 essentially through Copilot. You've got a lot of these others as well. So just go and try different things. Put the same query into different engines and see what results come back. You'll choose a favorite. I mean, at the moment, I'm still using ChatGPT 3.5 the most for content writing, which I do for a lot of clients, along with a tool that sits on top of it called Harper. And if I want to do technical stuff, like I do a lot of Excel macros, I'm trying Bard or ChatGPT 4. So, you've just got to, I haven't had much time to experiment myself, but I am playing with it. And now I'm getting curious, because I know you can build websites with these tools. So I'm going to start playing with that in the new year, trying to build websites using, see if I can build an entire website using ChatGPT, with no code from me at all. So we'll see what happens. So just to try and solve the problem, just for the fun of it. And if it works, I get up and running, then I'll present it at one of the meetings, one of the seminars, how I did it. So, it's just dive in and have fun. You can't break it. And if you get it right, it can dramatically improve the productivity of your job or your side hustle or whatever it is you're doing. So please just go and play. Have fun with it.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. Yeah, so just, yeah, as Patrick was telling, one closing thoughts. There are one thing is you all should get comfortable to use these tools as a user, and you will see the potential about it. And then the other good thing is how you can integrate it to whatever work you are doing, or how you can use this technology with the traditional AI and data science in whatever you are doing, because that is the future that is really going to change the way we work, and the productivity is going to increase by these tools. So thank you everyone for being part of our AI show. The recording will be updated in the community nas.io/artificial intelligence. Do join in and have a great evening, everyone.